Hello, 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 and welcome back to the podcast. Thank you very much for being here. This is going to be a dual podcast again. It is going to be on farming and it is going to be on without the bank because it is a general topic of infinite banking, which is windfalls. We see Nelson talk about this in his Becoming Your Own Banker book, and some people take it to the extreme and forget about being an honest banker on top of it all. On social media, I see that a lot of people are confused that are practicing IBC and they just need somebody to kind of coach them along the way. And I thought that this would be an absolutely fantastic topic. So before I get into that, though, you guys, I just got back from Arkansas and it was fantastic. I spoke at the Beef Initiative Micro Summit down there. And the mill, it was the Washington County something mill event center. And it was so cool. They took this old mill and they turned it back into an event center. And it was really, really, really nice. And it was very nice down there. It was green. It did rain a lot on the way down. It was a long drive, but it was so worth it. So worth it. Beautiful country. A lot of times I will complain that North Dakota has no trees. But then I go down there, I'm like, and I can't see past the ditch. So from Missouri, South Iowa, Missouri on, I can't see anything. And so when I get back into flat country, I really like it again. It's a nice reminder. All right, so let's talk about the whole being honest and windfalls because they are not the same things. So here is what Nelson talks about. It's okay to have a loan if you're going to have a windfall to pay back that loan. And he was telling even his own children this, right? Do you have a loan on your policy? Because if you do, that's okay because when I die, you're going to have a windfall. So they knew this, right? That was a certainty that we're going to have a windfall. Should you have a loan and wait for a windfall? Me personally, no, not going to happen. I am not going to hope and pray that I have a windfall. So I seen somebody the other day say, well, I am getting a bonus from work. So should I be putting that into my paid up additions? Or should I use that to pay back my loan because it's a windfall? Well, Nelson also talks to us about being an honest banker. So if we have a windfall, let's say that we owe $5,000 on our vehicle, and we have a windfall of a bonus, and we apply that $5,000 to our loan, and then we say, well, our loan is paid off. We don't have to pay it back anymore. What did we do with the $5,000 of income that was supposed to go pay off the loan? Did we spend it elsewhere? Then we have a Parkinson's law problem, right? And so if we're going to be an honest banker, you keep making the payments back to the policy. The windfall should go in as a paid up additions. Now, if you took the loan with the full intention that upon somebody's death, we have a windfall, or we're going to have a windfall when we sell property. Something like that we know is going to happen and we'll take care of it in the future. Fine, fantastic. But if it's something like a car, student loans, furniture loan, if we bought a short-term rental with it, if we bought equipment with it, those things we know we have to pay off. We are making money to make that payment. So if we use our windfall and then we say it's paid off, we just went and spent it, right? That seems crazy to me. It's not us being an honest banker. It's not us beating Parkinson's law. So if we have a windfall, and what if it doesn't fit in the policy? Then we can start another policy. Maybe we start it with, maybe the windfall was enough that we can use it for a 10-pay policy and then that's paid up. Maybe we use it as a dump in for a new policy for year one. There's multiple things that we can do with that money. But if you do now, let's just say that we do use the windfall to pay off our loan. Now, if you're paying yourself back plus interest, more interest than the insurance company is charging you, and you use the windfall to pay it off early, are you also paying yourself the extra interest, or did you just cut yourself short of the extra interest? Because if you're paying yourself extra interest, you need to make sure that also goes back into the policy, because we're going to be honest bankers. Then we freed up the loan repayment. What are we going to do with that money? Are we going to start a new policy with that money? What are we going to do with it? So we have to think that process through. And if you have a good agent that's actually teaching infinite banking, that question should be asked of the agent. If you are one of my clients listening to this, and this is a question you've had, then we need to have that conversation. That's what I'm here for, not just to sell you the policy and then you go ask online what's happening. No, that's why we're working together. I actually saw one of my clients online asking questions, and I messaged her and said, "Hey, what you doing? I'm happy to answer those questions for you." And she made a comment that said, "You remember who I am?" Of course I remember. I remember my clients. That's why you're my client. And so please do reach out so that you have an accurate answer. Because what was interesting is the answers that I was seeing, they were correct answers. People were saying, "Oh yeah, you should put that into PUA, not a loan repayment." So people were giving correct instruction, but they weren't explaining the thought process behind it. And now remember, infinite banking is a concept. So many people forget about the concept piece and they just talk about the policy. Should I put it into PUA? Should I put it into base? Should I put it in more PUA? How do I pay the loan back? Like, we get boggled in the numbers and the structures of the policy. And what we don't do is sit back and think about the concept. And it's funny because a lot of people who read Nelson's book say what? "Well, I don't understand what he's talking about Parkinson's law. I don't understand why he's talking about don't steal the peas. I don't understand what he's talking about being an honest banker. I don't understand what he's talking about for all these things," right? Well, guess what? That's all in the first half of Nelson's book. And we just talked about 3 of them. A windfall, Parkinson's law, being an honest banker, which is actually don't steal the peas. And so it's amazing how many times we come back to those things, but people just aren't paying attention to it. They think, yeah, Nelson, I don't know what he's talking about, but whatever. Headwinds, tailwinds, whatever. It all applies. It's the same with my books. The first half of the book is actually more important than the last half. The last half is numbers, and that's great. But you don't even need the numbers if you have the agent that understands the first half of the book. This is a little bit shorter podcast than normal, and I don't want to just drag it on and on and on because of the fact that this is very simple. And it seems like the more I drag stuff on, the more topics I get on and I get sidetracked and all squirrely like, which is, you guys all seem to be okay with that because nobody's yelled at me and said, "Mary Jo, you're annoying the crap out of me. Please stay on topic." But there are some things that just need to be very specific. And this is one of those things. If we are waiting for a windfall to pay back our loan, that can get us into trouble. If you took that loan for a purpose and you have cash flow in order to pay it back, then you should be paying it back. A windfall does not happen to everybody. I don't care what people say. I talk to thousands of people a year, and a windfall is still an unlikely event. A windfall does happen. I've seen it. Aunts and uncles pass away and leave money to nieces and nephews. Neighbors pass away and leave something to the neighbor. I have seen those things, but they are very rare. It does not happen all the time. The majority of the population is not going to have a windfall. So be an honest banker. Don't steal the peas. Make sure you're paying yourself back. And then the windfall should go in as a PUA payment and part of your premium. Because remember, taking loans does not make you money. Paying premium makes you money. Extra interest is not paying a loan. Extra interest goes to premium, which increases cash value. So the more premiums we pay, the more money we make. That's how this works. It's very simple. It's complicated because we don't understand insurance, but it's very simple when we think about the fact that there's only two pieces to this pie: loans, premium. Loans are awesome because we have control. Premium makes us money. We want to put more premium in all the time. All right. Let me know if you guys have comments, questions, concerns, topic suggestions. I am very open to those. Otherwise, you know where to get the books. Go to withoutthebank.com or farmingwithoutthebank.com, get your appointment scheduled, and get on the wait list. I'm booked out to July. So if you're somebody that's in June or July, make sure you get on the wait list. We are having people reschedule almost on a daily basis right now because we don't know if we got calving going on, if it rained, if it didn't rain, are we in the field, are we not in the field? Stuff is happening. So if you're a non-farmer, now is a really good time to be on that wait list and get scheduled through the summer. Also, I am going to be in Iowa, in the eastern side of Iowa. We will be having something in Cedar Rapids the week of I think it's July 19th, 20th in there. So I don't have the exact information nailed down yet. Hopefully we can figure that out in the next week or so. But if you are in that part of Iowa or within driving distance of that, please know that we'll be doing just a really small, hour and a half, 2-hour seminar. If you are clients, there's going to be a client only, 1 to 2 hours for clients only, and then we will open it up to the public. We will have ticket sales that probably $20, $25 or something like that, just to help cover the cost of the room. So be on the lookout. We'll be sharing that on all of our social medias, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all the things. So I know a lot of people are excited. I'm coming to Iowa, but I will be there towards the end of July. So if you guys need anything, let me know. You know where I'm at. Otherwise, have a fantastic rest of your day.